Hi, my name is Jia Duan. I will give a presentation for my project, which topic is online adaptive hierarchical clustering in a decision tree framework. This project is for the class EEL-6825 pattern recognition, and the instructor is Dr. Wu. I will give an introduction for my project at first. The pattern clustering, it means that samples are grouped into different clusters based on certain self-similarities measure. And especially for our project, we deal with the online clustering, which means an issue in large amount of data crunching. And in our project, we address the problems in a decision tree framework. And having a course to fine-grain analysis is also desirable. And the methods of clustering can be generically partitioned into two groups, which is partitional and hierarchical. I will describe these two groups in the following part. The partitional clustering, it means that among different partitional clustering algorithms, also is called the flat clustering algorithms. The k-means and the fuzzy c-means are widely studied in the literature, and the quality of partitional clustering algorithms often depends on the objective functional that is minimized to produce the clustering. And the other one is hierarchical clustering. Hierarchical clustering, on the other hand, generates certain nested hierarchical groupings of the data samples, where the top layer of the hierarchy contains coarse level grouping with less number of clusters, and lower layers represent finer level groupings with a large number of clusters. And the hierarchical clustering is usually performed in two different ways, which is one is divisive and the other is agglomerative. Divisive hierarchical clustering means that the set of data samples are iteratively partitioned in a top-down manner to construct final level clustering. And the other one, agglomerative clustering, it means that smaller clusters are grouped into larger clusters in a bottom-up manner. Now I'll talk about the framework we use in our project. It is decision tree. Decision trees have been used for divisive hierarchical clustering. A decision tree is constructed based only on the local splitting criteria at each node, as in the supervised counterpart of the decision trees. And in our project, we designed our own model to address the problem. Our model consists of two components. The one is the online adaptive decision tree, and the other is a code formation layer. And the adaptive tree component represents the clusters in a hierarchical manner, and the leaf nodes represent the clusters at the finest granularity. And the code formation layer stores the representative codes of the clusters corresponding to the leaf nodes. Now this picture shows the structure of our model in our project. I will give a description of this figure. It has two components. As we said before, our model have two components, adaptive tree and a code formation layer. And every intermediate node, which means that the node is not the leaf node, and the root node of the adaptive tree will receive the input pattern X, and also the code formation layer receives the input pattern X as input. Now I will talk about the learning rule in our project. In our project, we define a global objective functional E by considering the discrepancy between the input patterns and the existing codes in beta and the activation of the leaf nodes together And we can see the equation below. It shows how we define the learning rules in our project. And then we give some results of our experiments. And now we can see 8 figures, and it shows different results by different experiments with different value of the parameters. The decision hyperplanes constructed by the model for different depths with different control parameters, which is alpha, with a constant m0 which is equal to 5. The constructed hyperplanes are shown for different figure. For example, in figure A, the depth equal to 3 and alpha equals to 1.2. In the figure B, depth equals to 3 and alpha equals to 1.5. And in figure 3, the depth equals to 3 and alpha equals to 3.0. In figure D, the depth is 4 and alpha is 1.2. In figure E, the depth equals to 4 and alpha equals to 3.0. In figure F, the depth equals to 4 and alpha equals to 4.0. And in figure G, the depth equals to 5 and alpha equals to 1.2. And in the last figure H, the depth equals to 5 and alpha equals to 4.0. And in the next figure, we can see that this shows the decision hyperplanes constructed by the trees with a constant m0 equals to 5 and the depth equals to 5. But the control parameter alpha is varied. And in the figure A, the behavior of the tree for the alpha is equal to 1. And in figure B, the control parameter alpha equals to 1.2. And in figure C, the control parameter alpha equals to 1.4. And in the last figure D, the control parameter equals to 1.6. Now I will show how my program can give these results. I do this project by MATLAB with MATLAB program, and it will generate randomly dots as the input for the clustering algorithms. In the first figure, the name is dot set. The data sample set, also called the dot set, as the input of the experiment, and we can see all these stats are randomly chosen. And in the second figure, its name is single. It means that the hierarchical clustering result when we deal with the single algorithms. And the third figure is average. It means that the hierarchical clustering result when we deal with the average algorithms. And the last figure is centroid. It means that hierarchical clustering result when we deal with the centroid algorithm. All these 3 figures shows the different result when we do the experiment with different algorithms. And now I will give a conclusion for my project. In my project, we designed a hierarchical clustering algorithm in a decision tree framework in the online adaptive mode. And the model consists of 2 components, namely an adaptive tree and a code formation layer. The adaptive tree hierarchically partitions the dataset, and a node contains a group of samples. And the leaf nodes of the adaptive tree represents the clusters at the finest level. The code formation layer stores certain reference vector for each clusters at the leaf node. And we use a global objective functional to represent the quality of the clustering as obtained by the leaf nodes. This is my presentation for my project. Thank you.